make sure my microphone's all right. Yep. This is Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans, and this is the League of Ireland review, match day 8. David Dunn here, joined by Conor McAvoy, and of course, we're going to take a look at last week's action in the League of Ireland. But before we do that, do not forget, head over to our YouTube, our Facebook, and our Twitter. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what I'm going to say. Don't make me get the graphic up. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you're going to watch this video. Otherwise, it's bold. Anyway, and of course, if you want opinion, head over to lansdowneroar.ie. That is lansdowneroar.ie. Conor, how are you doing? God, I haven't seen you in a day.
It was the best, I would say, 23 and a half hours of my life since the last spoke to you, but no, I'm grand.
You talked to me throughout the day, Conor, but anyway.
No, I mean, like, I seeing that stupid grin on your face, but no, I'm good. I'm recovering from what was a very difficult stream last night, having listened to you, but in general, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm proper chipper. If Martin was on, I'd say that's actually a takeaway place in Ireland. But no, I'm chipper. I'm feeling good. I've recovered from the old heat stroke, and yeah, I'm ready to talk about some League of Ireland. Should we get into it?
I think we should.
I think we shouldn't as well. Let's start with the old results here of match day 8 or round 8, I suppose. And of course, Bohemians 4-2 winners over Sligo Rovers. That's their first victory at Dalymount Park this season, isn't it? Derry City with a 2-1 win over Cork City. Drogheda United 2-0 winners over Waterford. I was going to say Watford. Galway United they lost 1-0 at home to Shamrock Rovers, and Pats in the big Dublin derby, a 0-0 draw with champions Shelbourne. First game there, Bohemians, Sligo Rovers, of course. Bohemians with a plum, really. I mean, they bit of a mad first half there, Conor, like 2-2 at half time. Bit of a crazy game there.
Yeah, once you got seeing both going, what was it, 2-0 up the end? You thought, oh yeah, they're going to cruise to their first home win of the season. Well, technically the Viva game was a home game, but at Dalymount Park itself. But no, Sligo Rovers made a game out of it. But Sligo Rovers have done this season. They play well. They offer a lot to a game. They're in every game, and then sloppy mistakes let them down. Yeah. Which it did in the end yesterday. The 4 goals they conceded, they'll be very disappointed. They're massively lacking in depth at the moment just due to injuries. They have so many injuries, and there's lads coming in. I think John Russell said they finished with 3 or 4 right backs on the pitch at once, which shows the level of depth or level of they're having to dig into, like, what they've got at the moment. So it's a difficult time for Sligo. Bows, maybe that's the turning point, but you just don't know because they were playing against an injury hurt Sligo team, which is hard to judge at the moment. But it's probably the confidence boost that they need with Alan Reynolds in charge. Might take the fans off his back for a couple of weeks. And it was a bit of a Ross Tierney masterclass the other night, which is good to see, top player. And we're still waiting our first Moose goal of the season. Or that's Lise Moose, by the way, Dave, if you don't know who that is.
Yes, I know. 008 now. Someone are going to be calling him. They were calling him 007 there.
So I would imagine he will score eventually. Maybe when the pitches get a bit better and he can show his footballing quality. But it's funny that it hasn't really gone to plan so far. But he is.
There's a reason why he ended up at the League of Ireland. Nothing against the League of Ireland, but when you're playing at such a tippy top level and you end up at still a young age and you're going down to the League of Ireland, that's no disrespect. I'm not going to get penalties for that. You know what I mean, if you want to believe it. Yes, Ross Tierney with a hat trick, 1 goal. Sorry, not a hat trick, a brace, 1 goal either side of half time, and of course Dawson Dubai finishing things off
Lovely
in the 96th minute. Yeah, and fair play to them Bows. Hopefully now can build on that for the Bows fans that watch it, because they like to give me abuse.
Hopefully Sligo can pick up, because Sligo are a good club.
Derry City, of course, the next game, 2-1 winners over Cork City. Good boys, Derry. And a bit of a Cork taking the lead there with Kit Edward Nelson. That's a hell of a name there in 14th minute. And of course, Ronan Boyce in the second half, Michael Duffy finishing things off there for the home team at the Brandywell. Very
I knew look
important.
Brandywell.
Yeah, it's looking well, isn't it?
It looks
The
lovely. It
Brandywell's
looks
looking well.
so it's the first time the new stand has been open for fans to go in the new stand in the section, and it's a lovely stand. Probably one of the top stands you'd say in the country now in terms
Yeah.
of what it is, because obviously it's seating and it has the red seats, but then it has the stand section, so it'd be able to create a good atmosphere. The Brandywell looks lovely now. Obviously, the pitch is still a negative, but they're on the right track to where they want to go. It was a huge in terms of the match. It was a huge 3 points for them because they haven't had the greatest start of the season. They're not in any difficult position. They can't be turned
That'd be
around.
very unlucky, I
Yeah,
think, from what I've seen of them. They've been
yeah.
battering teams and they've had lots of chances.
It was
And,
just that first game against Shells. They didn't play to their level, but there are a lot of lads that was their first game really playing together. So, I think as the season goes on, we'll see a better Derry City. The pitch is going to hold them back, I still think, at some stage. But no, they have a decent manager with a very, very strong group of players. Obviously, the age profile is quite old, but in terms of their ability and what they can still offer is still quite good. It's just whether if any of them get injured, how long they'll be ruled out for. And Michael Duffy still, he kind of goes under the radar these days, really. As he still got in the team of the year last year, and he's still one of the top players in the league. But when people talk about who is the best player in the league, people seem to never have him in conversations, and I think he should at least be touted as one of the top players because he produces time after time again. Maybe the goal he scored maybe should have been better goalkeeping, but yeah, if you don't shoot, you don't score.
absolutely deserved winners there.
And Cork, are you worried about Cork, Dave?
Yeah, well, we don't give the position away too much. Obviously, that's at the end. But yeah, they're looking a bit bad now. But I mean, they do have the game in hand. Don't forget that game against. I mean, his Rovers at the Tallaght Stadium. They do have the game in hand. So but yeah, they look to be sort of sliding now towards Sligo Rovers. They had a decent start to the season, Cork. But yeah, they need to. They
I think
really
their
need.
home form will be their turning point, I think.
I mean, they've only won one game in the whole season. Like they've draws, too many draws. Bit like as well. I was going to say Derry City, but they've had 3 losses. But yeah, too many draws, 4 draws, 2 losses, 1 win, and I think they'll be fine. They're not losing games week in week out. They're going to climb up that table. I think. Like you look at Sligo, they've had like 6 losses. They're exactly. Spoiler alert, they're rooted to the bottom of the table, and they look like right now they deserve to be at the bottom of the table. Absolutely. So yeah, but no, I'm not too worried for Cork. I think they will climb out. Next game, Drogheda, 2-0 winners at home to Waterford. Of course, that gets them up to the top of the table again. Warren Davis and Darma Markey, I was going to say Malarkey, finishing the job there. Yeah, it looked like quite, not a one-sided game there, really. Like a bit of a, they didn't have the possession.
Do you want to apologize?
No.
Mister, they're getting relegated, so have a bit of respect for the table toppers, spoiling that. But I think everyone knows the Drugs are top of the league. They're going to win it all.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Conor. Is the League One after 8 games, Conor?
Yeah, well, their
Is the
relegation.
League One after 8 games, Conor?
You on about relegation, this or that. They're one round of fixtures through after Friday, and they're going to win on Friday, and they're going to be top of the league. Looking down at the rest, got to qualify for the Europa Conference League group stages. They're just flying, Drugs. They're the
And
best club in Ireland.
and do
You're
you know
gonna.
what? They're going to be a first division side playing in Europe, and I think that says a lot for the League of Ireland.
What are you smoking? But
No.
that's blasphemy what you're saying right there. But no, it's good to see Drugs and good run. Waterford, maybe they could get dragged into it. I don't think they've too much talent in the squad. Like, I know you're on about possession, but that's the way Drogheda like to play. They like to defend very well, hit teams well on the break. Let Darragh Markey create a bit of magic. I know his goal there was a bit of a mix up really at the back causing to it, but he's one of the best players in the league. He's a joy to watch. But no, Drugs are on their way up. Waterford have kind of probably not started as brightly as we probably wanted them to the league, but no, it's a no real shock result there. I don't think Drugs with the run they're on. They're
No,
they were hopeful of winning that game anyway.
no. I mean, like, they had 3 shots to target, scored 2 of them. Yeah, you're right there. I mean, the pass actually was everything was down. The passes were down. Pass accuracy was down. Possession was down 60-40. But that's the style of football they play. Long, bit long ball stuff, and it's been effective for them. But ultimately, it's still going to lead in their relegation. Moving on. Moving on. Go United at 1-0. Roy Gaffner. I'll try this
Who?
again. Shut up. Galway United 0. Shamrock Rovers 1. Rory Gaffney on the 48th minute, getting a job done there for the Rovers, the Shamrock Rovers. Your thoughts on this one, Connor?
It's one game I didn't actually get to see too much of because on a Friday I like to flick between all the games, but that one it didn't really fancy me to really jump in to watch that one. But from what I've seen, it was probably just about a deserved 3 points for Rovers. It was poor goalkeeping from Evan Watson goal for Galway, who has done well for them. This is coming in for Brendan Clark, but no, I think Galway will probably be disappointed because at Eamon DC Park they are pretty much. You think that arguably are probably one of the strongest home sides in the league. It's probably one of the hardest places to go, traveling from Dublin to Galway to play them. They probably would have fancied their chances because with this Rovers team at the moment, you don't know what you're going to get. But I think that's a big moment for Rory Gaffney and them. Missed the whole of last season through injury. The season before, he was absolutely superb for them. That goal won't just help his performances because he still is on a building process. He's trying to get back to 100% because he's nowhere near that yet. But that confidence, that goal will give him, although it's the easiest goal he'll ever score in his career, um, it's good to see a player that's been out for so long, hopefully being able to probably get back to where he is this season. And if Shamrock Rovers want to win a league title this season, Rory Gaffney's going to have to play a huge part in it.
Yeah.
So it's a big moment for them.
Yeah, I mean, Galway United had a chance actually to go top of the league. They won, so they'd be very disappointed. There's the first loss of the season. Yet again, too many draws, really. But yeah, they're still there, still up there, Galway. But yeah, they'd be very disappointed. If you're gonna make a serious challenge for the title, you got to beat teams at the top of the table, especially at home. And Galway will be very disappointed with that. And of course, the big game of the night probably was a bit more of bit of a damn squib, really. 0-0 draw, Pats and Shelbourne at Richmond Park. Probably the two teams you reckon we'll be finding it out for the league title at the end. Oh, you don't know. It is early days yet. But yeah, 0-0. Never would have thought this would have finished 0-0, to be honest with you.
It was their first. I can't remember actually the date because it was Friday. Feels like a lifetime ago. But the commentator said there hasn't been a 0-0 between these teams in like 20 something years. And then it was of course the commentator, of course, the 0-0 ended up. It was I actually thought it was an enjoyable enough watch. I thought both teams were decent. Both played all right stuff. Pats will definitely be more unhappy than Shells will be with that result. You could see Duff at the end celebrating with his players. Like that's a huge point for them away at Richmond Park, where Pats will be looking at that sort of game like if we're going to put down a marker at winning this title, we want to beat these lads at home. Cement our place as the favourites, although obviously they're not top of the table, but everyone still looks at them as the team that are most likely to go on to win the title. So no, it was an enjoyable game to watch. Meepo probably had the biggest chance, which he probably should have took an extra touch, but Joe and Ang made a good save from him. It was young Lewis Temple, which I think he'll probably put himself back in the picture now for an Ireland underage call up after his man the match display the other day. So no, it was a huge point for Shells in that context. They would be happy with that. Pats would be more disappointed, but it's not a season-defining draw because
No.
8 games in the draw with Shells at home. It's not a terrible result, but they will definitely have come away thinking we probably should have won that game.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, like obviously Pats, Shells, as you said, will be happy with it. Pats had a great opportunity actually to go, a bit of a 6-pointer, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And go top of the league, but yet again they just couldn't handle it. I mean, they had lots of shots, 4 shots on target, as opposed to Shell's 5. but yeah, just not enough there. Right, we're going to move it on and have a look at the league table, see where that leaves us after 8 games here. So Drogheda, yes, they're top of the league for now, but they're going to tumble down the table, I'm sure. They're top. Pats second, Galway third, Shelbourne fourth, Rovers still with a game in hand. Of course, at home to Cork City, they are fifth. Derry City sixth, climbing the table finally. Bows are in seventh. Waterford eight, Cork City nine, and Sligo Rovers are propping up the table and they're starting to go a little bit adrift. Of the teams above them, of course, Cork City have that game in hand. But you can see there, though, kind of from the top 6 teams, they're all in it, really.
I'd still say all 10 are still in it. It's only 9 points.
Well, yeah.
You need to settle like you're saying it's like a bit of drift. They're 3 points off Cork and 5 off
It's happening.
Waterford.
I'm trying to build some excitement, Conor, for Christ's sake.
You're trying to say they're too far away already. What you be saying? There's nothing in it. It's only early days. Only 8 games played. They will catch back up. They will stay up. They will get the drama going. We don't know who's going down here. Not saying Sligo going to fall all the way down to the first division, but no, I think that league table is going to change a lot.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of the season comes, I could make an argument that all 10 teams will be in a different position league wise.
Certainly draw it.
I'm not answering that. But come the end of the season,
it's not a question. It's not a question, Conor. It's just fact. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No. After the 3 rounds of fixtures are done, Sligo will have the league wrapped up, and that'll be it. But no, it's a very, very enjoyable league season so far in terms of drama and so unpredictable. The League of Ireland naturally is the most unpredictable league in the world, but it's getting more unpredictable because anyone can beat anyone on any night with the way the pitches are, the way the level of players are all at these days. Everyone's at a high standard. And like, no, I don't think you could ask anyone at this stage to put their house on any team to go down in particular because it's going to be a battle down there. There could end up being 6 points between 4 teams at the end of the season to finish between 7th and 10th. But that's the beauty of the league, I guess. But I think you still think Drogheda somehow are going to 11-point turnover you expect between them and Sligo?
Yep. Yeah, I'm not, as I said, it's not decided after 8 games, so Conor. And speaking of which, let's have a look at the fixtures now for round 9. Cork City will host St. Pat's at Turner's Cross. These are all bar one will all be played on Friday, the 11th of April. Cork City home to St. Pat's. That's on League of Ireland TV. Derry City host Drogheda United at the Brandywell. Shelbourne, the big game, the big Dublin derby at Tolka Park against Bows. Sold out, by the way. It is a sellout. Shelbourne against Bows. That is live on Virgin Media 2. You can watch that outside of the Republic of Ireland on the League of Ireland ITV app.
ITV?
Well, the LOI at TV. God, my brain is like I'm just getting all these Anglo. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I am gonna get absolutely battered in the comments, and I'm gonna get loads of text messages, and I know exactly who's gonna start moaning at me and what's gonna be said to me. I'm sorry. Back to the fixtures. Yeah, so Shells at home to Bows. That is a sellout. Fantastic stuff. That will be on Virgin Media 2 in the Republic of Ireland. But if you're outside the Republic of Ireland, you can watch it on the LOI TV app. Of course, Shamrock Rovers at home to Waterford. And Sligo Rovers on Saturday, 12th of April, will host Galway United. You'd fancy Galway with the win there. And maybe they end up on
the first Connacht derby of the season.
Oh, it is a Connacht derby, isn't it? You wouldn't think you have football over there.
You're so rude. You're such a Dublin mentality. Such a Dublin mentality you have. Nothing exists outside of Dublin.
I'm joking.
Can you name all 32 counties? No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
I don't know if you've seen, but that Bows Shells game didn't just sell out. It sold out 2 weeks in advance, which shows the level of interest in our league. Shows that the stadiums need not just upgrading, but extensions to them.
Yeah.
This is why I think that Bows maybe need to.
Oh no! Don't! You're gonna set him off again. You're gonna set him. I'm gonna get an angry WhatsApp message about you, Conor. If you start going on about this,
aim for bigger and better things.
I agree with you, but that's it now. Thank you. I'm going to get a text message. That's brilliant. Yeah, no, listen, I agree. It's fantastic. The League of Ireland is doing really well, and yeah, but now you have the fans. You've got them coming in, so this is where you need to. This is the next stage now. You've got them in the gates. You got to keep them there, and you got to improve facilities. So hopefully, we're going to see lots of money and lots of investment into the League of Ireland. It's fantastic to see, and I never thought I would see it in my lifetime, because I can remember when League of Ireland games were played in a park, like literally a field, with RTE cameras, which is very weird. But no, it's fantastic for the league and absolutely brilliant. We're going to leave it there, guys. We will be back during the week with a midweek iBig. And then, of course, Conor and myself will be live at 10 p.m. on Monday, slightly later. Martin is in Portugal
Is he
somewhere.
back then? How long's he away for?
Oh, I don't know. That's
He
just
could be
pretending.
back unless he's on a week holiday.
No,
Might only be a
yeah.
week.
Well, he's currently in negotiations. Isn't he, at the moment, he's trying to negotiate. No, I best not say anymore. But yeah, he's trying to sort out the rest of his calendar on holiday. But anyway, no, well deserved holiday from the Prendergast family. Of course, an absolutely lovely family. I'm not just saying that because I sort
You're
of
just
like them.
saying that.
No, absolutely lovely family, and I'm sure they're having a lovely time. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Before we go, just remember, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't make me get the graphic up again. I'm going to give that a rest for a little while. We're going to actually do another graphic and see where we're at. And if we're not happy, we're gonna be like Trump and his big board. And we're gonna point out, you watch, you comment, you're not subscribed. We're gonna start naming and shaming, baby. Can we do that, Connor? Can we do that? Is that possible? Can you do that? You're young.
Well, you can go
You got
through every
technology.
single subscriber in the channel, so you have to go through every single subscriber.
We'll
Do
do
you want
that.
to do that?
We'll do that. Connor will do that. I'm telling you now, Connor will do that. He will do that right when
No.
we go off. Is that right, Connor? Yes, he will. So, you better subscribe. Good man, Connor. Right, we're going to leave it there, guys. Do head over to the Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter accounts. Head over to lansdowneroar.ie, lansdowneroar.ie. We have a brand new site coming in the next couple of months, we hope. And yeah, this is Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans. And come on, the League of Ireland.